easy. And this I just got to pick the right line. I think I'll stay over here and then nip over to the other side. Here. There we go. Alright, so I'm trying out the new boots today. They are not waterproof. Although it just occurred to me, I think there might be a stream right around the corner. So I'm going to check that. I did bring these boots as well, my old Basque. Actually, they're fairly new because the Gore-Tex is still good. And if there's going to be a lot of snow in the trees, I'm sure there's a bit higher elevation. I was considering wearing these, but I'm going to go with these. This, you know, it's a perfect hike for these. I'm not doing big mileage, just an overnight trip. So a good way to break these in. I've already had them out for a day hike, short day hike, so they're quite comfortable. So let me just go check on that stream around the corner, and there's no point getting them wet right away. So if I'll wear my Crocs if that's the case. Of course, it's as usual quite chilly. I think that's the mountain I'm headed for. What I'm looking for up ahead here, I'm just going to walk my Crocs for a couple minutes here. So I'm pretty sure there's a few creeks on this ATV trail. Yeah, at some point I'll just bite the bullet and get the new boots wet. That's why I bought them. So you just wouldn't have to bother with them. So I thought I heard some ATVs earlier off in the distance, and maybe there's a couple people around here. So to the right of me, to the north, is is public land, and to the left of me, across the river, is a nature preserve. The river is basically the border. So I think up ahead, what I'm looking for is another creek coming in from the south that I was thinking of heading up or I may just follow this ATV track until I get to Memory Lake. I don't know if the track goes all the way there, but it probably does, given that it's Crocs are nice and muddy now, given that it's all public land, I think including Memory Lake. It's not much a lake from what I understand, but we'll have a look. It's a campsite on the Great Divide Trail, so I was going to go check that out, then head south into the preserve to check it out for a bit. Ooh, yeah, it's an awfully wet area down there. I'm not quite sure where the creek is from here. It feeds into this river. I think I'll put my boots on because walking in Crocs is a surefire way to get blisters. So I think the mountain I'm aiming for, I'm not sure if it's that one. It might be. So I'm hoping to find a campsite near a lake that's on the map. I'm not sure if there's a trail to it or not. Up here at Memory Lake, I can hook up with the Great Divide Trail and nip down there a couple K south. And if there's no trail, maybe I'll just try for a bushwhack. It's not too far in from the trail. If that doesn't work, I'll head down to Lyle Creek, the upper end of it. And apparently there's a campsite there. Another one that's mentioned in the Dustin, I forget his name. I'll flash it up. The Great Divide Trail guidebook. Very handy to have, of course, if you're in the Rockies, because it travels the whole length, and often you're on it or near it. So there's lots of good information in that book. Beautiful day. I'm thinking of doing a loop. Loops are always a little more fun. doing a loop. So I want to explore this forest a bit. Apparently it's 1,000 years old. So I mean, that's worth exploring. So I'm gonna take a look at that. I think on the way back, my loop, I'm not sure if there's a trail. It's not clear to me there's a trail. Hopefully, if there isn't, it's a doable bushwhack, because I would prefer to do that than backtrack on myself or head a little further down to where I know there is a connector trail to the Great Divide Trail down by a creek further down. But that'd make for a longer day tomorrow than I wanted to do. You know, I'm breaking in new boots. They're quite comfortable, but and it's a long drive, so it's a three and a bit hour drive. So I guess I'm about half an hour in, maybe 40 minutes maybe, and so this is definitely the type of stream that you have to take the boots off for. So I bought my new fancy orange Merrill ultralights for just this reason. After my last trip to Trap Creek, I did not find it enjoyable taking my boots off so often. They were Gore-Tex lined, they'd take forever to dry, they'd be soaking wet afterwards. So here's the first test. I'm not even going to roll up my pants, I'm just going to walk through. And I'm definitely going to get my feet wet, because it's probably, it's at least a foot deep here. Well, maybe there, maybe not. Well, one way to find out, let's do it. Feet are wet. Of course, it's almost a little bit warmer doing it that way, because you don't take off your nice wool socks. So I'm squelching around in my wet shoes. So this is really a test of this concept. The non-Gore-Tex lined, essentially high top trail runners. Merrill calls them light hikers. And so far they seem fine just to be walking here, so we'll see how they dry, see how we get on. I like this a lot better. That was much easier than taking the boots off. Oh my god. Well, this works. So far you'd have no problem driving this with high clearance four-wheel drive. Not sure about, you wouldn't get a trailer down here. Certainly not a problem with the truck, and it's really quite beautiful around here. And I've seen one or two random camping spots where obviously people have camped before. Time to get the feet wet again. Yeah, I mean, if you got a truck, you can sort of leave everyone else in the dust. I'm sure other people know about this, of course, but this looks a bit muddy as well. Well, I know it's not ideal to have wet feet, but I mean, oh my god, this is maybe I'm just lazy. The alternative is you get the big full leather boots. Of course they last forever. Gore-Tex boots. Gore-Tex is gone in a few years. Even if the boots, there's a lot of life in it. Once the Gore-Tex is gone, so you could park right here. That's actually, I think that's a fire ring over there. Yeah, it is. Got a river, nice view, and the road keeps going. Might be getting a little sketchy up ahead. So the last 5 or 10 minutes since I pointed out that random camping spot. The trail from a driving perspective certainly got a lot more technical. So I'm not even sure you wouldn't want to bring a full-size F-150 down here or something. It's more of a Jeep trail now. You wouldn't want to do this on your own either. So, but definitely some camping opportunities back there. It's definitely going to be a boggy walk. Certainly right here. Well, at this point it's quite clear I'm following a cut line. It looks like it's going to go straight to Memory Lake. I mean, I don't know if you can see, but I can actually see it climbing the next hill. So not the most exciting part of the hike. Was a little bit better, it was a little more open, but it should only be a click and a half, and hopefully things will get a little more exciting. Not that it bothers me. I mean, this is still, it's always fun to get out and just go somewhere you haven't been before. Well, there's definitely been a couple of spots where the Basque Breeze Gore-Tex boots would have come in handy, and this is one of them. So, you know, you win some, you lose some. On the whole, though, I'm attempting this with the camera. That's a no pull. That's probably not good. That looks quite slippery. On the whole, I just like the fact. Oh shit! Yeah, yeah, that's slippery. On the whole, you know, the boots do seem to dry out pretty quickly. It's just every time they seem to be drying out, I come to another crossing. So there's that. I think I got enough water in my shoes now just because I slipped there that I may as well just walk across. So I knew it was slippery, but you know, here we go. What the hell? Back to the squelching. I think they do dry out quickly. It's just they haven't had more than 10 minutes to dry out. That's the only problem. Well, there's ATV trails all over the place. They don't do switchbacks. This is a bit too steep spots. This kind of reminds me of the trail to Assiniboine from Mount Shark. That kind of trail. There we go. That's more like it. There we go. All right. Looking at this though, I think I am going to be in the trees, because I think my lake, if I can get to it, I think is right there. I can hear the river down below there. The Great Divide Trail is in this tree somewhere, and I think it just kind of skirts just around that bend. I don't know if it comes out of the trees up there. I think it just goes around. I don't think it goes over that ridge at all. So far so good. I mean, it's been exactly 4 weeks since I first attempted this. If you watch my Trap Creek video, this is plan A. So far plan B for the first few kilometers was definitely better than this. I kind of figured it'd be like this in the trees. I wasn't sure about this trail here. I think I might be in the trees for a while. That said, I think it's only a few kilometers across there. It's definitely some up and down, but that's definitely going to be up. Here we are, almost strode right past it. Great Divide Trail. So I came from down there, and that's south. There's a yellow sign up there. Great Divide Trail going that way. So that's the trail I was going to take to my lake. Memory Lake, I assume, is around here somewhere. I think it's just down. I thought I just saw it through the trees. I know the Great Divide Trail skirts it, so I think it's down there, but Alberta Wildlife Provincial Park boundary. Alright. I assume then that ATVs can't go down this. I don't know. I'm thinking this might be the road to an old mine. Oh, I see water there too. There's an old galena mine back in the 40s or 50s that wasn't quite successful. And this may be what I've been following the whole time. This road just, I don't know if you can see, just keeps going straight up the mountain and then off to the right. Here we go. There's a bit of snow left. Ooh. Oh, this is interesting. So if you're on the Great Divide Trail, I imagine this, I mean, it's already a bit buggy. It's June 20th or 21st. I'll have to check that. I don't remember. Such as backpacking. Well, this is some stumps upright over there. I wonder if those are, somebody's using those as chairs. I mean, you can camp anywhere here. I don't see a fire ring right here, but let's walk along the lake a bit. This lake's quite shallow. I think you could probably wade out quite a ways if you wanted to. Boy, this is actually quite nice. Well, I wasn't planning on staying here tonight, but I could. I'll have another little, I'll keep looking around and see if I can spot a fire ring. I don't see one right now, which is surprising. Wow. I think I'm going to stop here though. I think I'm just going to wander around a bit. Maybe I'll just walk around the lake. And stop. Maybe I will actually make lunch. I don't normally make lunch, but I do bring it. So maybe I'll make lunch and air out the wet shoes and socks. Yeah, have a little look around. That is a very old fire ring. What I was going to say is, as I walk around this lake, there are, just back in the trees, there are some flat spots. There's actually a little trail here. It's probably an animal trail. Oh yeah, there's. But you just go back in the trees, and there are flat spots tucked away. Water's a little high right now. It's a bit squelchy around the edges of the lake, but you can certainly walk around it no problem. Not sure what this would be like in August. I don't know. Another very, very old fire ring. Yeah. Back on the ATV trail, it goes to the mountain, so I've successfully circumnavigated the lake. It didn't take very long. This seems the most obvious spot, and yeah, here's, okay, I didn't see this before. This is clearly the most popular place to camp. Someone's even chainsawed up some logs at some point. Yeah, and the view here is pretty good. See some that's not bad. Alright, that's not in the shade. I'd prefer to be in the shade. So I might pull a log over to the shady bit there and see if I get my shoes off, taking a break. I don't always cook for lunch. But I figured I might as well try out the boots a bit, and I got a lot of time. Dry out my socks a bit. I'm not expecting any more water. We shall see. Yeah, always best to dry it out a bit given the opportunity. I think that's about as far as I want to go. It's cool. It's not as bad as the Trap Creek water though. I think the sun must be warming it up because it is fairly shallow. Anyway, there you go. Alright, well, I guess it was nice to have cooked lunch. Don't do that very often. Relax for a bit. That was a nice spot. Good camping spot. Certainly recommend it. And so here we are, Great Divide Trail, headed south from Memory Lake.